Hello friends, it's Laura here from The Change, and I just want to welcome you to our mini-series of minisodes. We're bringing you a selection of our interviews from across seasons 1 to 3, where we've spoken to some amazing women, and we thought, well, why not take some of the bestest of the best bits and bring them to you in little sneaky snippets while we get busy preparing season 4 with a whole bunch of new interviews. So have a cup of tea, sit back and have a little listen to some of our highlights with some great banter and chats with some brilliant women. We'll catch you soon. Bye.
This week we hear the best from Steph de Sousa. We interviewed Steph in season 3, episode 11. Enjoy.
The thing I learned the most about being on Masterchef was being my authentic self. When you're in front of the camera for so long, sometimes I'm talking 15-hour days,
Wow.
chef filming. Like when there's 24 contestants, that obviously drops down as the contestants drop down. But in the beginning, some of those tastings can take 4 hours when there's 24 dishes to taste, like a long time. So when you're in front of the camera for that long, it's pretty hard to fake it, right? Because you just can't. So you just have to be your authentic self. You can't put it on. One thing that I learned during that period of time was that my authentic self was okay. When I'm at home, I'm not who I am when I'm there, when I'm on my own. At home, I'm a mum. At that time, I was a mum to kids that were in their early 20s, to teen, and to, I think Noel was like 8 or 9 then. So, I had all these different personas. I was a wife and I was a public servant. I had all these different hats on. But when I was at Masterchef, I was literally just being me and the thing that I loved the most, which was cooking. So, first of all, I got to know who that person was because I didn't really know who that person was because I have been a mum since I was 21.
Wow.
And I'm now 51. So, that's a long time to be something other than what you are on your own. So that was probably the biggest thing that I learned, I think. And that was very life-changing for me.
And so when you say you were a public servant, what was that like a admin clerk? You weren't chefing?
You can't be a professional cook, chef to get on Masterchef. You have to be an amateur. No, I was a HR specialist for the Department of Human Services, so Centrelink, Medicare, all those kind of departments. Yeah, I used to always say that job was eating my soul. It just wasn't. There was no creativity. It was just I was just not who I needed to be in that role.
Can you tell us a little bit about the audition process? Because you're based in Newcastle, correct?
Yeah.
And it's filmed in Melbourne, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah.
So how does a gal from Newcastle who is a HR specialist get to being in the top 24 or the top 20 on MasterChef? Like that blows my mind. Like how does that even happen?
It took me 3 years. So I auditioned 3 years before I got on. I went through the audition process. So it's changed now because of COVID, but when I was auditioning, you put in a written application. From that, you were invited to go to an audition. And the first audition was you were in a room of about 15 other applicants and you had to cook a mystery box and they had all the ingredients. So you had to cook. And then you would go to a room after that and you would be told if you were invited to come back again in a couple of days' time to cook your specialty dish. So from those 15 people, there's usually only 2 or 3 people were selected from that 15. And these auditions went on for days. So there was thousands of people that were, and it was narrowed down. So then you come back in 2 days' time and you would.
In Sydney?
Yeah, that was in Sydney. It was in a cooking school in Sydney. So then you would go back and you would cook your specialty dish, whatever that was. One that got me in my specialty dish was it's like an Asian rice paper roll, and I made my own hoisin sauce and chili oil and stuff like that.
Wow.
Dish.
Okay, we're coming over for lunch after Laura's taken you to Kmart, and I've got to drive there from Wollongong, so you've got plenty of time to cook.
I've got plenty of time to get it ready and to practice it because I haven't cooked it in a long time. So then from that audition, the same thing happens again. You all get put, there's about 15 of you get put into a room and you get told who's through again. So usually only, 1, 2 or 3 people, depending on who gets through. And then straight after that, you fill out all of these psychological assessments and personality assessments and things. You have an interview with a psychologist.
Wow.
You have an interview with the executive producer and someone from Channel 10, and there was 3 people kind of on a panel. And then you go away and you wait. So you kind of shortlisted from there, and you wait because then they have to do every state, and then they kind of they say now it's like putting the jigsaw puzzle together. They need personalities, and they need different types of cooks and different socioeconomic or demographics, all that kind of stuff. So they're kind of putting a TV show to get together. So we've established cook, now we just need to put a TV show together.
Wow. And did they contact you after the 2 times you didn't get in, and the 3rd time, was that you just going back through the same process, or did they reach out?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The same process. Yeah.
God, you must have really wanted it. I can't imagine. This must have been hard self-esteem wise. Did you feel okay after the you must have learned to deal with a bit of rejection there.
I mean, I was disappointed. I think the first time I was disappointed. It was like, but I couldn't believe I'd gotten that far. Like, I was actually really shocked. So that just made me more determined. So the next year when I didn't get in, then I was disappointed because I felt like I was so much better. I'd really practiced. I'd really honed my skills. I was really disappointed. And the 3rd year, it was like, this is it. If I don't get in this year, I'm done. I mean, I wouldn't have been, but I said that. Like,
you had family, you had 4 kids, you had a job.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you juggle all of that? Like, obviously the family, they were all on board with you going, and
6 months I was gone.
Right. So so the
months.
family needs to really be on board, right? Like, they really need to be like, we're behind you in this.
Yeah, and your community. Like, it wasn't just my family, like there was other people, like my next door neighbour, Vic, she came once a week and cleaned my house for me. Like,
amazing.
Out, bless her. And a friend, Rachel, who just set up the spare room for Noah. So when Nev couldn't have him or one of the kids or whatever, he would just go and stay there. And, just people like that were just around and just supported so I could do it was amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Just even the pure logistics of it is amazing. And then, the fact that you did so brilliantly on the TV show. And what do you think it was, you're so, you've spoken about being your authentic self. Do you think that was helpful in the kind of, then the next phase of your career, which has obviously been your amazing social media, which we're going to come to, that really people have connected with you? It's not because... Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's the secret. I mean, it took me a while to realize that after I came out of Steph, because I did a few different things, and I kind of probably did what I thought people expected me to do on my socials when I came out of Masterchef. Like, I did you go to the events, and I posted about the restaurants that I was going to and stuff like that. I tried to keep it, Instagram's like. Very aesthetic and, lovely and everybody's beautiful and all that. So I tried to do that, and I actually hated it, and it kind of really didn't, it just didn't really work for me. And then I got on TikTok, which we know is rogue, and you can do whatever you want on there. And I think because I was starting from scratch, I kind of knew my MasterChef background and kind of no expectations. So I kind of just really honed that authentic side of me and did what I wanted to do there, and that gave me the confidence to bring it over to the shiny platform. People liked it on there too.
Thanks for listening to The Change, a fully independent podcast. Whether you're seeking inspiration, curious about change, or just here for the great banter, we'd love you to make The Change your new go-to podcast.
And even better, send us your voice notes or questions about change. We'll use them on the show. Email us at changepod2023@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at _change_pod. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram for more on The Change.